Happy Monday! Today I want to talk about something that is super common, which is having the thought, I'm so overwhelmed. There's not enough time. I can't get it all done. And I feel you because I am in the thick of this new season of having school-age kids who have activities. I've kind of got roped into being a Girl Scout leader, and we had our first meeting on Monday right after I got back from 5-day Beachbody trip for our conference, where we found out the incredible news that we're changing our name and we have all these new things rolling out. And my brain just was like, oh my gosh, I want to do it all. I want to, work on my business. I'm in peak marathon training. I'm a Girl Scout leader. I gotta take my kids at half day for parent teacher conferences this week. And this recurring thought that has been going around in my head was, there's not enough time. And that thought does not serve me, and it does not serve you. And I want to give you a little bit of coaching. So I'm doing these weekly mentorship calls with any coach on my team can come on and we do a chat. And this was, I walk them through what's called the thought model. And I've been slowly teaching it to you guys through this Mindset Monday. But basically what it is really having the realization that the thoughts that we're having are truly driving our behavior and therefore our results. So if we're not getting the results that we want, which means we're not being productive, we're not achieving our running goals or our business goals or life goals, it's a lot to do with the thoughts that we're having. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same amount of time in the day, 24 hours, and it's truly how we show up in that time with intention that creates our results, right? So when you wake up and you think, there's not enough time, it creates this feeling of overwhelm, right? And that you can feel that, like it's almost like an anxious feeling. And when we operate from that and we don't slow down and we just let that feeling control our actions, we can show up in a couple different ways. The first way we can show up is we can just take manic action. So this tends to be like if you're a high achiever like myself, we want to do something, but we don't take time to really intentionally do those things. So what we end up doing is we scroll on social media, or we do the dishes in the sink because they're in the sink and they're available and it's a task that we can not track off. Or we respond to the first email we see. We do whatever is calling our name and feels like it's urgent, but it's not the most important task. And another thing we can do is just completely shut down and be like, I'm so overwhelmed. It makes us tired. We might want to take a nap. We might want to scroll social media, and we might just want to completely avoid all of the things we have to do. I know I've been in both camps. Probably you have too. So this is the solution to this, is slowing down our thinking and using the amazing rational part of our brain, because we have two parts. We have that primitive brain that's telling us to be frantic and overwhelmed, and then we have the rational part. And so this is the important part, is it does take slowing down and being intentional and thinking, okay, what is the fact? For example, I have 1.5 hours in my day, if you look at your calendar, to work on my business as a coach. And that is a very common scenario. Someone might have 30 minutes one day, 90 minutes the next. Today, this whole week, for example, I've had 3 hours a day to work on a full-time income paying business. And there's that thought that's like, that is not enough time. But this is what I do know. The fact remains the same that we have this certain amount of time, say 1.5 hours to work on our business. The thought that I can have is I'm in control of my time. And how does that thought, I'm in control of my time, make me feel? A lot more empowered and intelligent and rational. And when I feel I'm in control of my time, what do? I take control of my time. I look at my schedule, and for example, maybe I have 3 30-minute blocks in the day. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, right after my workout. Maybe it's on my lunch break if someone is a working coach, and maybe it's in the evening. What I can do is I can say, what are the most important things that I need to get done in those 30-minute blocks? And I can designate, okay, 30 minutes where I'm going to be talking to people, having conversations. There's 30 minutes where I'm going to be working on a social media post, and there's going to be 30 minutes where I'm checking in with my group. I'm encouraging people. I'm reaching out and checking in my bod group and logging my workout. That's it. If this coach were to do all 3 of those things in a day, and then at the end of the day, they would be like, wow, look what I got done. I had all these conversations, I checked in with my group, and I got a social media post up, and I feel really good about my day. And then how do they wake up the next day? Empowered, because they know that they know exactly what to do. So I just encourage you, if you're feeling overwhelmed, work through those thoughts, acknowledge, don't judge yourself for having the negative thought, but just say, how am I in control, and what's a better thought that I can choose about my time? And then how can I sit down and rationally schedule out that time. And this is key. If you don't end up following through with what you said you were going to do in those schedules, you need to not judge yourself for that and just say, I'm working on this skill and I'm going to keep improving. And I truly believe that time management is something that can truly allow you to thrive in all areas of your life. And really, brain management is something that allows us to thrive and to achieve our goals in every area of your life. So that is something I'm really passionate about supporting my coaches in doing, and supporting even my challengers as well, the women in my group, is to recognize that we've got this, that we can do this. And with slowing down, and like I always say, like the two most important things with running is your form, which is how efficient you are when you're taking action, and then your effort, which is the actual effort that you're putting in. And so when we can control those two things, we're unstoppable. Have a great Monday.